I predicted USC to lose this game 59-20. Final score, Oregon 36, USC 27. Not the blowout that I had expected, but a loss nonetheless, a guaranteed loss. And can't really claim any moral victories after this game. Maybe they played a little bit better without Alex Grinch there, but a lot of the issues we had seen before with poor tackling, just getting burned in the secondary, especially early on in the game. That really hurt USC there. Get with tackling. I'm not a football expert, but all I know is if you're trying to go in at the shoulders or aim for their head, that might look good for an Instagram highlight reel if you make the tackle. But in many of the cases, when you don't make the tackle, you give up a big play and your opponent's going to score or in much better position to score. So that's what happened there. And with this team, you get rid of Alex Grinch, but it's too little, too late. Like I said, still good decision to do that, but the damage has already been done. The season was more or less wasted. And it seems like, we as fans, we do a much better job at noticing when there's a problem and saying when someone unfortunately needs to go. It seems kind of wrong to tell, not say wrong, but to tell someone to lose their job or lose their livelihood. But at the same time, they are getting paid a lot of money so that if they do get fired, they can be, financially protected for a while before they find another job. So, but nonetheless, we as fans, we do a better job at knowing when someone needs to go, much better than our coaches and the administration. In this case, the coaches. There usually seems to be about at least a 1 year lag, maybe a little bit more under Clay Helton, but there's always a lag of when we say someone needs to go and the coaches or the administration decide not to do anything. They keep that person on staff for the next season. But then when things spiral out of control, they have no choice but to get rid of that coach. But by that point, the damage has already been done. And, sometimes, in some cases, like getting rid of Lane Kiffin or Steve Sarkisian, you might see a little bit of a fight from the team after that coach, is let go. But again, if they had figured things out earlier, then they wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. And then with Clay Helton, they got rid of him after the second game. Well, it's like, should have got rid of him much earlier. Why wait that whole time? And then we see the same thing with Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch. Why did you have to wait all that time when we all saw clearly there was a problem? So, but unfortunately, that's USC. We want things to change, but that seems to be happening quite a bit. Anyway, talking about some more positive things with this team. Again, it wasn't a blowout. They didn't give up in the way that maybe I had expected them to. Caleb Williams, he was pressured all night, but didn't throw any interceptions. He fumbled the ball once, but I mean, what can you do under those circumstances when you don't have as strong of an offensive line and all that? But he, still, managed to make some good individual plays, some individual highlights. Made some good throws to Taj Washington and Brendan Rice, and I think there was another one to Zachariah Branch. So they had their moments on offense, but the thing is with the offense, you have all these plays and highlights, but it's like they're kind of nullified because there just isn't a good defense to support them. So it's like you might watch those highlights and you think to yourself, it was still a loss, but I guess their individual performance was okay. So that's an issue. And again, getting back to the defense, this team, they need to find a better defensive coordinator. They need to find somebody that can instill more discipline. And Lincoln Riley himself, he's going to have to change his approach as a coach, because you focus on offense, okay, and yeah, you when you're putting up points, that's great, but when you're going up against much better defenses and you don't have the ability to put up 40 or 50 points a game, and you're going to have to win games with 20 or 30 points, it's under those circumstances that you wish you had a better defense. And that's where this team is at right now. And you look at a team like Oregon, that is a much more well-rounded team, and it was a home game for them, but still, I think they would have won this game, at USC as well, if they played there too. And they're just, at this point, they're much better coached. Dan Lanning has done a great job with them, and yeah, he might be a little arrogant at times, and I think he pretty much on Twitter he called USC basically a 7-on-7 team, but I can't disagree with that. Yeah, it's talking some trash, but he backs it up, and I'd like to see USC do better. You can't deny it. I think USC needs to be much better in the trenches and play a much more physical game, and this kind of finesse football 7-on-7, Instagram highlight type of mentality, that's just not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. So hopefully things can change at some point, but it's an uphill battle right now. So with that being said, fight on. What else can you do?